muy poco difundida, nada conocida por nosotros en la América Latina, en la América del Sur, estas colecciones. Son coloristas, pero tienen una unión, además del color, además de la imagen, y es que son escoceses y muy poco difundidos. ¿Se anima a verlos con nosotros?
The Scottish colorists were some of the most important and avant-garde artists working during the early decades of the 20th century. Their art was bold and vibrant, and unlike anything that had been produced in Britain before. One of the most important patrons of the colourists was Major Ion Harrison, a shipowner from Glasgow. It seems Harrison had a thoroughly modern outlook on the world, and this is certainly reflected in his support of the colourist artists. During his lifetime, Harrison amassed an incredible collection of colourist works at his home in Helensburgh, Croft House. George Leslie Hunter was the first of the artists Harrison met. I think he was particularly intrigued by Hunter's work, as he was the most varied of the group, and probably the most modern in his aesthetic. This modern approach can be seen in his painting, The Harbour Villefranche. Painting in France gave Hunter a new lease of life, and one can clearly see the influence of the Fauvis artists, and in particular, that of Matisse. Of all the artists, it was Harrison's relationship with Frances Campbell Boydell-Cadell that was the closest, and the two became great friends. Carnations is a perfect still life by Cadell, with its beautifully balanced arrangement and carefully cropped composition. Its palette and tone are reminiscent of Manet and Whistler, but accented with a bold modern feel, influenced by the Art Nouveau. Rock's Iona is a wonderful example of Cadell's Iona painting. Here he is distilling all the influence of French modernism and applying it to a uniquely Scottish setting. It was Cadell that first introduced Harrison to Samuel John Peploe. Carnations and Ranunculus is an incredible example of Peploe's very best still life painting, dating from the early 1920s when Peploe was at the height of his artistic powers. The bold, saturated colours and confident presentation of the subject mark this out as a truly special work. Like Hunter and Cadell, Peploe spent much of his formative years in France, absorbing the influence of Fauvism and post-impressionism. A Street Cassis was painted in 1913 and demonstrates Peploe's great love and connection with France. The brushwork is spontaneous and dynamic, the colours bright, and the forms of the buildings have an almost Cézanne-like construction. Since these paintings were acquired by Harrison in the 1920s and 30s, they have remained on the walls, untouched and unchanged. It is very rare to find a collection that has this incredible immediacy and connection to the artists themselves. It is also a collection that stands as a testament to a collector with a truly modern vision, and one whom recognised the talent of this very special group of painters.